Welcome to Monster Men.
Hark! Hark! I'm arguing, don't you know? Why are we being like this, Jack?
We're talking like Paul Lynde, who you might remember as the center square on Hollywood Squares back in like the 70s and 80s.
Or you might remember as the alien on American Dad.
He was Uncle Arthur on Uncle Arthur on
Uncle Arthur.
Bewitched. Yeah. Samantha, why you married to a mortal? I believe he was like a IRS guy or something on I Dream of Jeannie. Major Nelson. That's the Ming Dynasty face.
This, by the way, this episode is just going to be Jack doing Paul Lynde.
Yes.
And me laughing for however long it takes to get through this.
He was a regular on the Donnie and Marie show as well.
Yes, which is why Donnie and Marie returned the favor. They gave her reach around and appeared on its Halloween special.
And what we decided, since October is here, Horrortober, back in 1976, Paul Lynde did a Halloween special on ABC that is now legendary. And is legendary for many reasons. It's one of the biggest nights of my life. And we'll get to that.
I do not remember seeing this in 76. I guarantee you I did. I was probably sleeping over my grandparents. I was 8 at the time. It was a big year. This is the year of the bicentennial. I mean, we were psyched. Right.
The quarters.
And, I don't remember this.
Well,
but watching it, I was like, oh, this looks like every crappy special I ever watched in the 70s.
So tonight's episode is dedicated to the Paul Lynde Halloween Special. We are going to walk through this. Now, this is on available on Amazon Prime, so you can go and watch this. I will be, throughout this episode, I'm going to tell you the details of the night that I saw this. Because any Kiss fan who's of a certain age, this is the Ed Sullivan moment for Kiss.
You know what? I am not a Kiss fan. I was for the summer of probably 77. Whenever Kiss Alive 2 came out, that was the summer I was a fan. Watching this now as an old man, I could not wait until Kiss got on the screen.
Oh, they're the only Halloween-y thing in this.
Yeah, this is the most un-Halloween Halloween special of all time.
But I'll get into my story in a few minutes. So let's take care of some business, and then we're going to dive in to the Paul Lynde Halloween Special.
I wanted a pecan sandy.
Okay, before we do that, it's Halloween season, so you might be looking for a book or maybe a gift for a younger person who has interest in reading horror, and you want to find like a nice collection of short stories and things like that. Well, our pal William Simmons sent us a copy of his new collection called Monster Carnival, an anthology of things, beasts, and creatures.
Is he my pal?
You my pal, Danny. How about a Fresca? Hey, Judge Smells. Paul Lynde.
Dumbest episode of all time.
But you're going to do all the voices I can do.
This is the greatest insight into who we are as actual people.
I was talking to Chad Lutsky, and when he was talking about Final Guys, he just mentioned, he goes, yeah, and then there's that thing where you and Hunter just have all these inside jokes that are cracking the two of you up, and everybody kind of realizes that you must be talking about something that you know.
There we go. That's right. Welcome to
this is the thickest we're going to lay it on. If you're younger and don't know about the 70s, forget it.
Well, no, we're going to school you.
We're going to school you.
Put those earbuds deeper in your ears, buddies.
Some of the authors featured in this book: H.P. Lovecraft, perhaps you've heard of him.
Kind of.
Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, E.F. Benson.
Sherlockian.
Rupert Kipling. Lord
Rupert, did you say? You mean Rudyard?
Rudyard, yes.
It's not a name you see very often.
Rudyard,
anymore.
You're right.
I've never come across
I'm skimming. You know me. I'm not a good reader.
Rupert Kipling.
I don't read good. Oh, I can get this one. Hugh Wells.
Okay.
I'm sorry. That's H.G. Wells.
By the way, have you ever heard a recording of his voice?
H.G. Wells?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there were recordings.
Oh, here comes the War of the Worlds.
Oh, he's kind of very high. I envision men from Mars. It's really weird.
No, I'm not going to have to Google that.
Destroys everything.
Anyway, there's a lot of authors on here. This is a good little collection. This is the kind of thing that you and me had, like stacks of books like this when we were kids.
Yeah.
You get a little. And listen, I have never actually read an H.P. Lovecraft book.
What?
I had one like when I was in junior high school. I started reading, and I was like, "This is weird. Don't want anything to do with this." So first thing I'm going to do in this is I'm going to read the H.P. Lovecraft short story. Let me see if I do some tap dancing while I see if I could find the name of it.
Well, hopefully it's a short one.
The Lurking Fear.
The Lurking. All right, that's a very good story. There is not a lot of dialogue in his story, so there's just like dense paragraphs. So just be ready.
So this is pretty cool. So William Simmons edited it, and there's an introduction by him, and he was nice enough to send this to us. So go find this. We'll put links in our show notes for it.
Go Gadget Carnival.
And check it out. What do you got?
I have a book that was sent to me. It's called Creature Feature, a Horror Comedy by Stephen Paul, I think it's Leva? By the way, this guy has super creds, so I advise you to look this book up and the author up because he's got Ray Bradbury was praising his prose.
Ray Bradbury?
Ray Bradbury.
The famous bowls.
Will Wheaton. So what this book is, this was perfect. I read this just before Horrortober started because I needed to start early this year. I'm like, it's September. I don't give a shit. I'm breaking the rules.
Load up.
Starting now. So his I guess his one of his PR people, Echo Shea, by the way, was her name.
Echo.
That was awesome. So right away, I'm like, Echo Shea. All right, I'll answer. She sent it to me, and this is such a fun book. It's about a woman who is basically a take on Vampira, and her name is Vivacia, and she is a horror host in the 60s. And she's coming home. Her name is Kathy, and she's coming home to her hometown, and things are not right. I call these movies or stories pod people stories because it's when you come home and nobody is as they seem. So everybody in the town has been taken over by strange, funny demons. This book, it's somebody wrote on Goodreads, it's a silly story and silly prose, and it is, but it is so much fun. Like, I don't know who the target audience was, but to me, as a kid, first of all, I would have loved this just for the prose and the situations alone. As an adult, I love the nostalgia part of it. I love the, you have a horror host who is like, it's just a job. It's not what I really want to do. I'm an actor. And then she's thrown into this horror situation. I thought it was a ton of fun. So if you like Elvira, if you like Invasion of the Body Snatchers, if you like Slither, you're going to dig this book. It's so much fun.
You've just checked several boxes there.
Dude, yeah, it's to me, it was a great way to start the Horrortober season, and I highly suggest folks read this. And it's really good for everybody. I would let a 7-year-old read this as much as a 77-year-old.
Excellent.
So, yeah, that was really good.
Now, before we get to Paul Lynde, one other thing. Did you notice anything about what I'm wearing?
That shirt. For those who are only listening, Jack is wearing a black shirt with the Monster Man logo that is emblazoned across his trunk.
Boom.
Not just his chest, his trunk.
My trunk.
It's our great green logo with the monster ripping out from it. Oh, and he's wearing the mask.
And I got the mask so we can be safe.
So, yes, we have a store. We have a store with swag.
We got swag.
10 years.
So we're on TeePublic. If you go to themonstermen.net, there's a shop link at the top, and there's a link on the side for merch as well. That'll take you right to the TeePublic store. There you can get shirts, and you can pick the color shirt you want. So a friend of mine and his wife and his kid, I'll probably post a picture on our Facebook page during the week. Green T-shirt, gray one, black hoodie, like zip up with the logo on the back.
Oh, that's what I want.
I got a refrigerator magnet and a coffee cup that I'll next episode I'll
I got a
those.
Monster Man refrigerator. Got delivered yesterday. It's awesome.
It's got a dead body in it.
It kind of smells.
It's got Joaquin Phoenix in it as the Joker.
But here's the deal. If you buy something from our store and you post it online and you tag Monster Man 13.
You got to be in the picture. You with your swag.
Yeah, we want you with your swag. We're going to give stuff to you. So for the month of October, like I'm going to give you stuff. Like, here we go. Mail Order Massacres. All 3 books in the audiobook version by Graphic Audio, which is freaking-mendous. It's not just a dude reading it. It's actors acting it with all the sound effects and music and everything.
I want one of those. I got to post a picture of me.
So I'm going to give out those. I'll give out free books. I'll give ebooks. Just post that stuff on Twitter. Hashtag MonsterMan13, and you're eligible.
And we'll pick names and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And listen, even if you don't win something, show your pride, show your colors.
That's right. You've been with us for a long freaking time.
Yeah, this is a blast. So there's even shirts.
Amongst us.
There's also shirts with the logo, but it's an all black logo. So if you want to just get like a white T-shirt, you can get all black. I got like baseball sleeves. I'll wear that next time.
White T-shirts are good if they get wet.
Yeah,
they get see-through. So I think you should go with that if you have the chest for it.
So on the store, you'll see the classic logo. You'll see the black logo, and then there's another one that's called like something like the low corner. And what that is basically it's the green one, but it's a small one like on the pocket, like over the heart.
It's over your breast.
It's a little more subtle.
Now what you need to do, Jack, you got to move your camera down for the people on the audio side. No, up. I mean, because now we just see Monster Man. I want to see your whole face.
Okay, we're back.
There we go.
So I'm very excited. It's been a long time coming, and we had to dance with TeePublic to get this site up, but we finally got it up. So.
Oh my God, I can't wait. I hope I get my masks next week because I'm going to go to the Mahoning Drive-In next Sunday to go see Night of the Demons with one of the actresses. Will be there.
Oh wow.
But if I don't get it for that it's 2 Sundays or 3 Sundays from now in October, Fire in the Sky will be there with Travis Walton.
Oh my God.
That is based on. You know I already got my ticket for that.
One last thing. I just want to give a shout out to Jerry Mulcahy. Here's our buddy, and he's the guy who did our logo like 10 years ago, and has done a million great things for us and for Hunter Shea artwork too. So just give him a verbal shout out because none of this was possible without him. So thanks, Jerry.
And if you want to support Jerry, buy the book Slash because he's a character in Slash.
That's true.
He's the asshole cop, which is the total opposite of what Jerry is in real life.
Yeah, well, not totally. I mean, he's not a cop.
Wow.
I kid.
That's the end of our logos.
I kid. All right. Let me set the stage for you.
Please.
The first album I ever bought, I was sitting with my buddy Tommy Morgan in like 4th grade or something. And he was drawing the Kiss logo on, you use a paper bag as a book cover.
Oh, yeah.
And
so they don't do that anymore.
We would draw and all that stuff. And we were both like cartoonists. So I'm like, what is that? I love the S's. And he's like, oh, it's Kiss. It's a band, whatever. So I was like, oh, that's great. Now, again, that was when you had a 50-cent allowance. So to save up $13 was like months.
It took a while.
I had this, it was a Tootsie Roll bank that I got at a fair that was full of Tootsie Rolls.
I still have a Tootsie Roll bank.
Oh my God.
I'm not kidding.
See, I'll tell you, man,
right now.
we are brothers from another mother. So I go to Caldor's.
I worked in Caldor.
I go down to the record section, which was the most pivotal place of your childhood because the 45 list, you just check. The only way you could get a single was if you in the window of time that the 45s were there, you could get it, and if not, you could never get that song again until you taped it off the radio or something, or you bought the album.
Sam Goody and steal it. That was the other option.
Yes. So Caldor, I go to the bin, I find Kiss, and I don't know how I did this. I went through the albums and I grabbed Kiss Alive, which is a double album. So I'm thinking, I must have saved up money because a double album costs more. And so I'm surprised I didn't buy a different one. And I came home and I put it on my little Victrola.
My Victrola? Did you wind it up?
It was like really, it looked like a little suitcase and you open it up.
Oh yeah, I had those.
And it blew me away. I was like, what is this? And, you know, my sister had albums and stuff like that, so it's not the first album I ever heard, but it's the first one I ever went out and bought. And, like, to this day, it's still my favorite album I own. Like, I love that album. It changed my life. So I was a Kiss fan, but I only had seen pictures of them. And then one day I heard Paul Lynde's going to have a Halloween special. So I hear Halloween special, I want to see it already. And in the little TV guide thing, it says guest Kiss. And I'm like, oh!
Mm-hmm.
They had never been on primetime TV. They'd been on like the Midnight Special and Don Kirshner, which was way too late for me to ever see.
Yeah.
So it was going to be, I think it was like a Sunday night. Well, we often went to my grandmother's in the Bronx on Sunday nights. And so the whole family's down in the main living room there. They bring out the table. And you have dinner when all the relatives are over, like in the living room with the tables out. What's that movie?
Yeah.
You ever watch Green Book? At the end of that movie, they all sit down for dinner at the tables, and there's like the kids' table. That is exactly my grandparents' house in the Bronx.
We had that too. We were at the folding table off to the side.
So they lived in a building where there was the downstairs apartment was my grandmother, upstairs was my aunt and uncle, and another one was my great aunt and great uncle who like spoke Italian. And like
they spoke Italy.
They spoke Italy.
Hey.
And I basically snuck up into the apartment like while everybody else was like talking or whatever. I went up and turned on the Paul Lynde and watched as much of this as I could. Then I'd have to take a break and go down and then go back up. So I'll talk about my experience with what I saw as we go. But I will say, obviously, I saw Kiss and I loved them already, but then when I saw them in motion and with all the fire and stuff, I was just like, oh yeah, this is right up my alley. So it was one of those life-changing moments for me. So as with many guys my age who like you hate because we're Kiss fans, this is one of those things that just stamped.
See, now we should learn this in politics in this country. You are pro-Kiss, I am anti-Kiss. Yet we love each other. It doesn't matter.
We give each other shit and then we turn it off.
We had a moment. Remember when we went to Chiller and we waited online to see Peter Criss?
Yes.
And I waited with you, and I'm guzzling beers all day long, and we wait, and then Jack's all excited, and he gets his. Did he autograph a drumstick for you?
Yeah, I should have got the picture with him. I got a drumstick instead. That was dumb.
I think that was actually cooler. But I remember he looked at me at one point. And he goes, "Hey man, what would you like?" I'm like, "Oh no, I don't like Kiss." Just totally honest. The beer.
I don't know if you remember, but I had a great conversation with him.
You did. I mean, you guys, because it was like they were only letting one person in the room at a time. It was like pre-COVID COVID.
Yeah. He used to live in the town I live in, and then he got a divorce. And so
And Jack banged his wife.
My friend found out that his wife was having a tag sale. And we drove up, and he lived in a very, very posh end of town.
Naturally.
And we drove up and it was like they had a front door with a cross like window and everything. And
nice.
I walked into, this is before they took their makeup off. You didn't know. I walked into the garage, and she's got all this Kiss memorabilia and everything.
Oh my God.
On the wall is a big picture of them without makeup. And me and my friends just stood there like we had found the lost ark. We were just like trying to memorize.
Did you buy it?
I don't know if it was for sale or not, but I bought like an album and a belt buckle.
By the way, what's her name, Beth?
No, it was Lydia.
Lydia.
Beth was actually
calling.
written. The original name of Beth was Beck for Becky. He wrote Beck.
And who was that?
I don't know if that was Lydia's middle name or if that was some chick he was dating, but he wrote he wrote it as Beck. I hear you calling, and somebody like Gene Simmons or the producer of the album was like, "We got to change it from Beck because it sounds like you're in love with Jeff Beck."
Yeah, or later on in years, Beck himself. Yeah. That wouldn't be good. I bet he got divorced because Beck was her sister's name.
There you go.
That's it. We're done.
So when I met him, I told him that story, and then we started talking about like, oh, did you ever go to the Pizza Post and other places like that? And so suddenly I wasn't just a fan. I was like a townie with him.
Nice. Yeah, no, you guys were having a fine conversation, and I just crapped all over it. Well, like I do sometimes, but whatever.
So this show, and let's start to walk through it.
As you please. Said, we made notes, extensive notes. This never happened.
The variety show was a phenomenon of the 70s.
Oh, it was a staple. You could catch a variety show every week.
Donnie Marie had one every week.
Well, there's the Donnie Marie show. But, like, everybody would get a variety. Like, nowadays, everyone gets a talk show. Back then, everyone got a variety show. You got one crap.
Brady Bunch had one.
Oh, I love the Brady Bunch variety show.
Tony Randall was a guest on that.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
The Hustle. And you got to remember that disco was a real big thing. So there's going to be a lot of instances of disco showing up in this show.
Yeah. Oh, a little bit of disco. But the cast is so 70s and so amazing.
So why don't you take us in? Because I've been talking a lot. So.
Oh, well.
Wow.
We open with Paul Lynde. He's with his housekeeper, Margaret, who, this is a common theme. It's him and Margaret kind of going through the season together. But in the very beginning, Paul is dressed like Santa Claus. And he's singing Christmas songs. He's so excited about Christmas. And then his housekeeper, who is Margaret Hamilton, who you might know as the Wicked Witch of the West.
Or what was it, Maxwell House or Folgers lady?
Yeah, that's right. So she reminds him, she goes, oh, it's not Christmas. So then he comes out as a bunny rabbit.
Here comes Peter Cottontail.
This is a bunny rabbit that if he showed up at any mall with children, they would run screaming and crapping their pants. And
the cops will be all over him.
So then she says, no, it's not that. And then he comes out singing My Funny Valentine in a smoking jacket. Oh, it takes a while for him to get the fact that, oh, it's Halloween. And we're here for Halloween.
It's reminiscent of when, like, you're talking to, like, an 8-year-old and it's almost Christmas and you say to them, oh, I can't wait. It's almost Easter. No, Uncle Jack. It's not Easter. Oh, you're right. I can't wait for Valentine's Day. No, Uncle Jack, it's not Valentine's Day.
What is it, Labor Day? Arbor Day? Like, just going through it. I'm going to give you a line that will give you the essence of the comedy contained within this show, where he looks at his housekeeper, Margaret, and says, Margaret, why don't you go prune a tree? There you go. That is indicative of all the humor.
That's gold, baby.
I don't know if this show was made for children 6 and under or adults. There is one joke in here that is adult. I wrote it down as soon as it happened. But the rest of it, I feel like the target audience was 6 to 10. I'm not sure, though.
Oh, I think it was supposed to be a family show. So it's got to be something that, you know, your parents, they don't like mainstream music. But if it's sung by some older person, like in more of like a Vegas act way, then you're like, oh, yeah, I like this song now.
It's sung by some poor old queen who can't come out of the closet because of the time that he's living in and has to endure this garbage. Here's another thing he said. This show should be out now. He says, there's a scary day coming. Election day.
Yes. I wanted to get a clip of that and put it on Facebook.
Whoa, my God. When, I just pulled my headphones out. I got so excited. This is, and he's right, because it's when Jimmy Carter got elected. Oh, that's right. Terrifying. So I said, oh my God, this is like the perfect year, because we saw this on Prime months ago.
Yeah, I watched this like last year.
And I was like, oh, we got to save this. This is in October.
I was so excited when this showed up on Amazon Prime, because there was clips of it on YouTube, but I could never watch it start to finish. So like a year or two ago was the first time I ever saw the whole thing start to finish. And then this was a blast doing it this time.
So yeah, we cut to this, and then we go to the Paul Lynde Halloween Special, like big logo dropping out of the ceiling. He's got his head in a pumpkin
And
or
the
something.
jack-o'-lantern.
And what does he say, Jack? Do you remember?
Oh God. Let me see. I don't know if
I have it. I thought you would have
I
memorized
know
this.
the opening monologue was about kids, but that was
Oh well, that was a
the
song
song. Um,
before the worst. Like Johnny Carson would have committed harikiri if he did this
what did he
monologue.
say?
I'm Paul Lynde because somebody has to be.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh, and he walks out from behind the logo and he does a monologue that is,
Painful.
it's unreal. But I had to remind myself, like, all these shows were equally as bad. There was not much cutting edge stuff then.
Right off the bat, I felt like the way this was written was like, we have to fill 50 minutes and we just got to get through this. So there has to be an opening and nobody really cares what he says as long as it's got Halloween colors and he makes a couple of jokes and then we go to commercial. It was such disposable stuff. This is a one-time.
Oh,
Nobody thought that in 2020 people would be still watching this thing.
and you could see, like, between takes, he's just like, "Give me a goddamn highball." Like, he must have wanted to just kill himself. So yeah, the monologue is beyond terrible, and then it goes into a song and dance about kids, how much he loves kids and Halloween. That then devolves into how
the
much
jokes are writing themselves at this point.
And they're not good jokes, but they are writing themselves.
No, when you've got, I mean, and there's like the disco dancer background singers.
There's so much disco dancing in this. It is just horrendous. I would love to have anybody that's been on that show on our show one day. It could be a random dancer. It could be Billy Barty's illegitimate child. I don't care. I want one of them on here just to ask, what was it like on the set of this thing?
Yeah, there's a whole host of people. I think.
Oh, we haven't even gotten it. We haven't touched the host of this because who shows up at the end of this dance scene with the kids?
Donnie and Marie make a big cameo. Now
he gets tossed in the garbage can.
He was a regular on Donnie and Marie's show, so clearly this was a favor.
A little nepotism.
Donnie Marie Osmond, wow. And I saw an interview with Bruce Valanche. He talks about this, and he's like, Paul Lynde was a guy who couldn't be like, he wasn't like a lead guy. He was really good as like a bit player in things.
Like Creed on The Office.
Yeah.
Every now and then you're like, oh my God, that was great.
Like he's good for the zinger here, zinger there. But I guess he was making tons of money doing it, but in his contract he had something like this. And so they put it in, and as you watch it, you're just like, yeah, him like in the driver's seat the whole time.
Oh, he even mentioned how it had been a year or over a year since his last special. He goes, was it something I said? I'm thinking, probably. I'm sure it was something.
So while this is going on, I got to the TV and I turn it on, and I'm watching this, and I'm like, show Kiss! Where's Kiss? Then I have to, like, they call me, and I have to leave and come back. So I remember some of this opening, but I don't remember which. But I remember the next part that happened after the opening song of Donnie and Marie. I don't remember Donnie and Marie's cameo, but
it was quick because they put the lid on the garbage can.
Mm-hmm. Oop, I just lost you. Sound.
Oh, you lost my sound?
Oh, now you're back. Now you're back.
All right. So yeah, it was quick. They just put the lid on the garbage can. Over. Then we go to Margaret, the housekeeper, wants to take him to her sister's house to give him a little Halloween spirit. She takes him to this haunted kind of like mansion. Her sister is Witchy Poo.
First of all, the mansion is just a picture of a mansion.
Well, but inside, the interior was actually pretty
good
elaborate.
Good set.
So he meets Witchy Poo from Puff and Stuff because there's a lot of Seals and Croft people.
Sid and Marty Croft.
Did I say Seals and Croft?
Yes.
I've been drinking for hours. It's fine.
So Billy Hayes played Witchy Poo.
Billy, yes. So then he turns around, and Margaret turns into what she is, the Wicked Witch of the West. He's got the two greatest witches of our childhood
right
in front of him. And the butler is Billy effing Barty.
Unbelievable.
Little Billy Barty.
And in a politically incorrect time, they make short jokes like crazy in this special.
Oh, my God.
Like, they would never fly today.
No. At one point, later in the episode, they call him a short order cook. Because he's so tiny. But Billy Barty was kind of like a mainstay in a lot of shows and movies back in the 60s, 70s, even 80s.
He was in a lot of the Sid and Marty Croft stuff, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah, he was. Gilbert Gottfried talks about losing a role to Billy Barty, which has to be the ultimate insult.
Wow.
But while they're there in the mansion, they call upon the spirit, or maybe not the spirit, of Miss Halloween, who is the gorgeous, and I figured is almost 50 years old at the time, Betty White.
Betty White, who is superimposed, floats in like Glinda the Good Witch.
Oh my God! By the way, she really looked pretty.
She did. She was all that in a bag of potato chips.
Because I'm watching this going, so at that time she was younger than we are now.
I know.
So she looked way better than we do.
Oh God, yeah.
She looked way better than most people do at that age.
Again, I remember the witch part.
Right.
And then I think it might be when Betty White came on that I was just like, okay, come on. And then I had to go down.
Is that lady from Maude or Password?
Yeah.
That's what she was known for.
Mary Tyler Moore show too, wasn't she on that?
Mm. Yep. So for some reason, Paul Lynde is given 3 wishes, like they're genies, like the witches.
Well, there's something about witches get a bad rap.
Oh, well, yeah.
And Mr. Lynde, maybe you could put in a good word for us or something like that.
I'm sure I could.
So they decide to give him 3 wishes. Now, here's where you had some witches. And so we've got some kind of Halloween vibe going. And he makes his first wish, and Halloween goes right out the window.
By the way, the absolute queen of Hollywood, his wish is to be a trucker.
A trucker?
So he wants to be the rhinestone trucker.
Yes.
And he is given this white Evel Knievel rhinestone jumpsuit with fake hair, just I hope it's fake, bulging out of his chest. And he is, he's riding his truck and he's talking on the CB to none other than Tim Conway, playing 2 different roles. Because Tim Conway, first of all, looks like he's on lithium for this movie. He doesn't give a crap.
He is getting a nice fat paycheck for, this is Los Angeles. He's like, it's probably July. And like, oh yeah, we're shooting a Halloween thing.
Yeah, because Tim Conway, probably one of the funniest people of the 70s. I mean, him on Cara Bonnet you can't beat it. This, you'd be like, how does this guy have a career? He just mailed this crap in. But the whole thing is, Paul Lynde is about to marry his sweetheart, who was a waitress at a diner at midnight. So's Tim Conway. And it turns out to be the same woman.
Yeah, they're talking over the CB radio, and they realize that they're both going to marry the same woman.
Jack, can you reveal who that woman is?
The woman is Roz Kelly. But unlike everybody else in this show, she doesn't get billed with just her name. She's Roz Pinky Tuscadero Kelly.
Pinky effing Tuscadero from Happy Days.
Fonzie's girlfriend.
Oh, here's something. This is seeing it through a new set of eyes. So when I was young, Pinky Tuscadero was it.
Yo,
like, holy crap, she's dangerous and she's hot.
And she had sway over Fonzie that nobody else did.
Right. I watch it now. I'm like, wow, killer body. She probably looks like my mom's age.
Yes.
Something about her. I'm like, But she's the sexy. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. There's another sexy one coming later. But for the first half, she is like the sex appeal of this.
Oh yeah, I mean she's in a short waitress skirt,
Oh,
low cut.
very like low cut, and there's like a diamond cut between her boobs and her belly. I'm like, what is going on here?
And again, to frame this, a couple of cultural things are going on here. Happy Days rules the world at this point. So the Pinky Tuscadero 2-part episode or whatever it was, every kid loved Happy Days, and that the Pinky Tuscadero to this day, if you say it to anybody late 40s and in their 50s, if you just say Pinky Tuscadero, we immediately are back.
We don't even need Viagra. It's instant Viagra. Oh, Pinky Tuscadero? Where's my wife? Where's my wife?
My wife.
Let's go.
But the other thing that was going on was the CB radio craze, thanks to Convoy, the song Convoy.
I had a lunch bag. So it wasn't like the lunch pail. It was like one of these crinkly lunch bags. And it had all the CB call signs on it. I used to sit at lunch eating my cream cheese sandwich or ketchup sandwich and just look at those and try to memorize all those. Not that I had a CB, but I was ready.
So we were talking about you go to Caldor's, and if you missed the window, you couldn't get the 45. I missed the window and couldn't get the 45 of Convoy. My friend Jimmy had it, but I didn't. But for Christmas, this is typical, like me. My parents got me, like, from Radio Shack, this CB songs collection that had everything but Convoy on it.
Oh,
so
did
it had like
BJ the Bear?
No, it had a thing called Shirley and Squirrely, which was like a chipmunks where two squirrels are talking to each other on the CB radio. It was like, "Hey Shirley, this is Squirrely.
Happens.
You got your ears on?" One of the great songs is like this slow country ballad, "The Night I Talked to the Lord" on my CB radio.
Oh my God! Keep taking those amphetamines and driving in the dark. You
So
talk to the Lord too.
So it struck me when I was watching it today. I was like, "Oh, that's right. Everybody talked in like CB language for a couple of years there."
Yeah, that was a big deal back then.
What's your 20?
What wasn't a big deal? What's the terrible dance number that came out?
Oh, in the diner.
And
And
it was
the
a
singing.
whole battle of who would win Pinky Tuscadero's heart.
It got me thinking. Most of the singing in this, except for one person maybe, or Kiss and one other person, I was like, I think we could do a Halloween special and sing, because most people are just kind of talk singing in this.
Oh, we could absolutely do this. Well, I don't know why we're not doing it now. But by the way, the person who wins Pinky Tuscadero's heart is Billy Barty.
Billy Barty.
Who with one hand pushes the 18-wheeler truck that went through the wall.
The diner wall.
Pushes it out because he's the strongest.
He's the strongest, but I'm the richest.
There was a Mad TV thing with Billy Barty. They were doing a thing with Mike Tyson and how strong he was. And they put Billy Barty in a punching bag.
Oh, God.
And Tyson was like, fake Tyson was beating up the punching bag. I think it was Mad TV. And when they unzipped it, just nothing but guts spilled out of the bag.
When I heard Billy Barty's voice, I had a flashback to that Masters of the Universe movie where instead of Orko, they had him as some little elf creature.
Yes. Billy Barty was the shit. Anyone alive now, most people can't understand how great Billy Barty was.
Yeah, he was just a thing.
He was everywhere.
So the dance number starts off as a square dance kind of song where actually that's Paul Lynde and Pinky Tuscadero, which her name is not quite Pinky Tuscadero. It's
Kinky Pinky.
Yeah. It starts off as a square dance number that in the middle of it, this tall dude in a black cowboy hat marries them.
Yeah.
And then it goes from like a square dance song to a disco song.
Of course, because, it's 76.
And then, and dancers come back out.
It's awful.
Yes.
And it's long. It goes on way too long.
So, in retrospect, thank God this was long, because I got back to the TV in the Bronx, I think right at the end of this skit.
Oh, so it worked out for you.
Thank God. Because
it's like the last skit on SNL. You're like, oh my God, when is this ending? And then we cut to the witches, Witchy Pooh and the Wicked Witch. They're reading Rosemary's Baby and The Exorcist.
That's right.
Which I thought was kind of cool. And thank God we are saved because Kiss comes out and sings Detroit Rock City.
She's like, I want, we're going to have some chamber music. Where are they? They're locked in the chamber. Ha ha.
Oh my God. He looks like he's not even there.
Well, Bruce Valanche said in the interview I heard, he goes, yeah, Kiss was on it. I don't think he knew who the hell they were.
Didn't know who they were. Didn't know what. Just was like, where do I have to stand? What do I have to say?
But ingrained in my mind is Margaret Hamilton going, these are our pets. We call them Kiss. So for me, I am just wide-eyed like, and they just come down the elevator, open it up, Detroit Rock City.
That's a great song to come out to.
The smoke is going crazy. And then the camera effects, there's like these animated lips that keep coming out and they spin.
They spin him around like Paul Stanley when he's singing, he's spinning around.
And then you could just see like they're, and look, I'm a kid. I didn't know that they were lip syncing and air banding. They're just playing along with the record.
Right.
So I'm just like taking it all in. Now you're listening, like the editing was so crude back then. Like it's like when you made a tape, like, cause there's a car crash at the end of that song on the album. Yeah. They didn't even get a mix where like that was edited out. Like, it's just like somebody just turned the record off really quick. It's an edited version of the song. But like, there's an intro on the album to it. So that like, it's just like they do an explosion to cover the front part of the song. And then they just kind of end it. It was hilarious. And then it's edited a little bit. And then you're just watching, like, Gene Simmons is just like in his prime, going crazy. And you just see like all of them though are just kind of like, I don't think bands were used to like lip syncing. So they're just kind of like doing stuff. And I don't think they care how accurate they look.
By the way, anybody who had to sing in this entire special was off the lip syncing completely.
Oh yeah.
So you can't blame Kiss. It's everybody. So
no, but it's something else. And I think probably most kids at least saw Detroit Rock City, and the next day, playgrounds across the land. That was the news of the day. Oh my God, did you see Kiss? And they really took off after that.
That was I mean, look, it was a breath of sunshine from what we'd been subjected to.
And I mean, they're the ultimate Halloween band. I mean, I was them for Halloween twice,
Yeah.
So
they were the one thing that looked like, well, other than, you had the witches.
You had the witches.
And you had them.
Kiss. And you had a pumpkin in the beginning.
So after they perform, Paul Lynde gets his second wish, which he wants to be a sheik.
Doesn't he say that by accident?
Does he say that one by accident, or does he say the last one? I can't ever remember. I don't know.
Because he gets a bonus wish at one point.
He becomes a sheik in the desert, and he is courting none other than Mrs. Carol Brady, Florence Henderson.
Westonality herself.
Oh my God! He offers her. I actually laughed out loud when he offered her a glass of hyena wine. I don't know why. I laughed out loud at that one. But she's like this ice queen that he's trying to like melt.
One of my notes was, I called this the Dad Joke Halloween Special.
It was, again, a segment that went way too long.
Oh.
And then poor Paul has to make out with her several times in this whole scene.
That's where he knows how tall he is.
He's really tall. And look, she's used to like kissing gay dudes.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that became her thing. Oh, you mean to kiss a gay dude? Oh, Florence.
I got this.
She was with Brady Bunch. She'll be fine. Which is so uncomfortable. At one point, it's like sucking on her neck, and I'm like, oh my God.
I don't know what to do.
What? Just leave it. Just in this, like it's so funny. It's watching this in retrospect. Like I understand the culture how it was then, but you watch it now, you're like, dude, just let him be him. Let him kiss George Clooney.
But also, just like they were making a Halloween special, and now suddenly they're doing this like Lawrence of Arabia thing,
right?
And this is a thing where, as a kid, you were like, you'd go in the other room or change the channel and come back like, oh, it's singing. This is boring. Maybe your parents were getting a kick out of this. I think more so like they were home from work and tired, and anything moving with sound just was numbing them for having to go back to work.
Schaefer.
But yeah, this is painful.
By the way, for us as children, we're watching Paul Lynde mac on frickin' Mrs. Brady. Not cool. Not cool at all.
Not cool, Paul.
I didn't dig it now at 52, much less at 8 when that happened. I would not have liked that at all.
Yeah.
So that was a weird choice right there.
That was painful. Tim Conway shows up in that too.
Oh, yes, he does. Because he's not done with his contractual obligation.
Yeah.
And Tim Conway, you'd rather watch 40 hours of Dorf on golf than the 4 minutes that he does in this show.
Yes,
because it ain't him. But now after this is done, he wishes the witches to do a Hollywood disco.
Yes.
This is when
or is it did he wish it, or did they say they've never been to a Hollywood disco?
They've never been to one, so he makes the wish for them to have a Hollywood disco. And now all bets are off. We're full on disco at this point.
Yeah, now we're in a disco. At least there's like Halloween colors and stuff.
Yes.
And there's witches in the scene.
But here, I think it's either right or during the disco, this is the one adult joke of the entire thing. They say, and he says, Tim Conway was doing the monkey, but the monkey bit him.
Oh.
That is the only adult joke in the entire show. Which you're going, that would have gone right over our heads right back then. The monkey bit him.
So Florence Henderson is back here singing that old black magic.
In the tightest black dress. I was turned on.
Now you could see what
entirely
what Greg Brady, why he had a crush on her.
I felt very Oedipal watching this. I actually wanted to have awful, dirty sex with my TV mom watching this. I was like, oh, God, she was hot.
See, now, I always liked her better with the early haircut where she had the mullet thing.
A little bit of a flip going.
Yeah.
This looked like a wig. I wasn't sure.
This was like the Wesson Oil haircut. And the thing is, I think I noticed her more now than when I was a little kid, because when I watched the Brady Bunch when I was a kid, I never noticed her because I was so in love with Marcia. Right. And then there was also a day where I'm watching and I go, towards the end there, Jan actually got kind of pretty.
She did.
But she snuck up on you because you were never really. Marcia's just like a goddess.
Marcia was just from the beginning. We all loved her.
Yeah.
But now, let me tell you, that dress left nothing to the imagination. I thought I saw camel toe.
It was more than a hunch.
Sure. Her singing was so out of line for what's going on here.
Yeah, this was her doing her Vegas act.
Oh, it had nothing.
And it goes on. This is, again, when I went back and watched this for the first time, because, again, I was probably flicking in and out at this point. So I did, I was going in and out. So I remember a little bit of this and just going, if I catch this and then I miss Kiss because the window I had is this stupid thing that won't end, I'm going to kill myself.
Well, the good thing is this was a nice buffer. So you could go downstairs, you could eat some kugela, whatever you guys were eating at the time. Because when you came back, it was Kiss was back again, but it was just Peter Criss.
Doing Beth.
Which seemed an odd choice, but maybe not, because it was the big hit at the time.
But what happened was they put out Detroit Rock City as a single, and all the radio stations flipped it over and were playing Beth. So they didn't actually intend it to be a hit, and it turns out to be the biggest hit they ever had.
It's a great song.
So they went with it. So they had to. So I kept thinking to myself, with the egos that Paul and Gene have, is
oh yeah,
they're happy that they're getting a hit, but it's got to be killing them that it's Peter Criss's song.
They even had to creep up at the very end where they're standing behind him, just kind of clapping behind him.
I also kept wondering, how drunk is Ace Frehley in this?
Ace is just like, don't even show my face. I'm just going to show up and just stare at him across the
He's probably just laughing. He's probably trying to make Peter laugh.
Oh, all right.
So there's
another Kiss song here, by the way. Yes. Which I don't remember this song, but you're a Kiss fan.
Oh, I love this song. So this is the song they do. Did they do it right away? Yeah, they do King of the Nighttime World. He does a fourth wish. And which was my wish. So we were like, I wish Kiss would do another song.
I wish Kiss would give me a few minutes off.
Oh, and we'll get to the joke he makes. Does he interview them before or after the song?
I think he interviews them after Beth. I think.
Yeah, he does the interview. So
where Gene Simmons says we're not wearing makeup.
Yeah. He goes, let me guess how you started the band. You had a fight, and your mother said to kiss and make up.
Oh, it's so cringeworthy.
And Gene and Paul say something. I don't think Peter or Ace say anything.
Ace doesn't say a damn
The
thing.
funny thing is the movie Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park. I heard this great thing, Paul Stanley talking about it, and he's like, Peter Criss was so difficult during the shooting of that when they had to go back to do the looping to fix dialogue and stuff, he never showed up. So like the dude who did like cartoon voices, it might have been like a Shaggy voice or somebody else. Like if you watch it, it's not Peter Criss's voice in the.
Oh my god!
So
why would you be like that?
Because they're all.
It's your window, man.
Because these guys all hit it big. Listen, in the 70s, everybody was. You became famous and you were at Studio 54 and in piles of drugs and.
Yeah, that's true. What am I saying?
So
I
then
would
they
be
do
such an effing mess if I was in that same platform shoes.
So they do King of the Nighttime World, which if you listen to Destroyer, it opens with Detroit Rock City. There's a car crash, and it goes right into King of the Nighttime World. And it's a great theatrical moment on the album. Like they marry perfectly. So they do
a lot of fire in this.
A lot of fire, a lot of bombs, and again, abbreviated version of the song. But this was like where I hit the jackpot because they did 2 in a row. So I got to see all the Kiss.
Yes, you did.
And then as a kid, as they go back to the ballroom and Pinky Tuscadero returns, I think that's where I bailed again.
Well, that was a good bailing. By the way, who would think that a Paul Lynde special would feature 3 songs by Kiss?
I know. Well, and it's like, a 50-minute thing.
Yeah, it's not that long. The disco part, I totally get. 3 Kiss songs. Then you finish with Pinky Tuscadero and Paul Lynde singing Disco Baby. With everybody who's in the cast is singing and dancing.
Move it in, move it out, Disco Baby.
And Kiss is hanging out in the rafters.
Yeah, they're up in the rafters.
Looking down and just,
I wondered if that was partially because it was a disco thing. And so they were just like, okay, we want you guys in camera shot, but we don't want you down with all the dancers. Yeah. Like it's not on brand.
And that night they wrote I Was Made for Loving You, Baby. And they became a disco rock sensation.
You know what, again, talking about the way that song was written, Paul Stanley was like, yeah, I was at Studio 54 partying. And I heard the stuff and I said, I could do this. And he went home and he could. Like, he got a huge hit out of it. I know. I heard you talking to Chad Lutzke. You hate that song. I with Chad, I was like, I love that song. I understand though. It's like it's the downfall. It was the downfall.
It's embarrassing.
So they do Disco Baby, and then the very last shot of the thing, Paul Lynde leans in and kisses Margaret Hamilton on the lips and goes, "Happy Halloween, everybody." And it's like a freeze frame on him kissing her, and I'm like, okay.
Welcome to my nightmare.
Yeah. There was an Alice Cooper joke in there somewhere.
There was an Alice Cooper joke. There was a Hollywood Squares joke somewhere in the mix. He was making fun of a little bit of everything. Like my wife went into defensive sleep 5 minutes in. She was like, "What?" And she was snoring. Within 6 minutes, she was snoring. I was like, wow, that's pretty impressive. But I understand. I'm going to stick with this thing with my notebook and my pen because I have an obligation to our listeners.
It's so funny because I just wrote an outline of what happened.
I was just going beat for beat, baby. I didn't want to miss anything.
And the funny thing is, I had watched this, like I said, a couple of years ago. Remember, we talked about this when I watched it.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot. I thought this thing was longer because some of those painful scenes, like the trucker thing,
The Sheik and the trucker thing
feel like they go forever.
Yeah, I'm telling you, they are last skits on SNL to like the nth degree. You're like, good God.
And you felt like that, like I said, they're just kind of like, okay, we just got to get through this. Read the lines.
Right.
Smile and get through it.
We got to fill the time. Most of the time, Paul Lynde is looking off somewhere to the side. He's not even really in the scene. He's just doing his thing. But God bless him.
And then the promo for this is Paul Lynde in a witch outfit. If you like the TV Guide ad, if you look at it now, the thumbnail on Amazon, it's Paul Lynde like in like the Wicked Witch costume.
Right. Look,
again, a little bit odd.
We mock it, but if you and I could do the exact same special, we'd do it right now.
Oh my God.
Could they resurrect everybody that was on the shows?
My dream is for us to do a Halloween special. We should do something like this.
My new dream is to do Florence Henderson. So
I want to do Witchy Poo.
If you know where she's buried, let me know.
Want to see my magic flute?
Freaking puff and stuff. Oh my God, that ruined a whole generation of people. So do we encourage people to watch this?
Well, number one, like I said, if you're our generation, you're hearing this is making a hell of a lot more sense. And if you're like in your 20s and you're listening to this, you're probably, if you even made it through this episode, God bless you. You could find clips of this on YouTube and see what we're talking about.
Just watch it. Get a bit of history. It's a great encapsulation of 70s television history right there.
Yeah, because like you said, you're totally right. It's a good snapshot because Kiss is like a great snap. They were the biggest thing in the world for 4 years.
Yep.
CB radios was one of the biggest things. Disco was a big thing. Happy Days was a big thing. Florence Henderson was a thing.
Tim Conway. I mean,
yeah,
he was pulling in big hitters at the time. They were all old, even then, but it didn't matter.
There wasn't a whole lot that you ever saw Ross Kelly in.
This and Happy Days, as far as I know. Was she ever in Joni and Chachi? I'm not even sure. I didn't watch
a whole lot of Joni and Chachi.
I think she died pretty young, too.
She's dead? I didn't know that.
Oh, she's been dead a long time.
God rest her soul.
She's long gone. Florence Henderson.
Florence Henderson's dead.
Betty White has outlasted all of them.
I'm looking up Ross Kelly now. I didn't realize she was dead.
Betty White, Donnie, and Marie, I think, are the only 3 survivors from this show.
Hold on. Her Wikipedia.
Marie, by the way, looks phenomenal.
Oh, yeah. Ross Kelly's not dead.
She's not?
She's 77.
Are you kidding me? I heard she died.
She was born in Mount Vernon, New York.
Dude, right down the block from me.
That's where the Bayou is.
Yeah. Oh, my God. I have a story at the Bayou. We, speaking of that, this is like a New Orleans kind of Creole place, and it's got
all kinds of hot sauce in that place. I love it.
Tons of hot sauce, great
blues
band.
Music.
So we were there. We had gone ice skating, me and a bunch of friends from work, and we went there. And I was with my friend Tom, who was, I mean, we were both hammered, but we ordered crawdads, and they put them out newspaper, just tons of crawdads, and I'm like, I don't like fish, but I'm going to eat this. So he drunkenly is going. Now he lived with this dude named Fred. They were not partners. They were just roommates. So he says, I'm going to put these, like, you pinch the head and what do you pinch the tail and twist the suck the head, whatever that was. So you had the carcasses. He goes, I'm going to put these in Fred's pocket. He's putting him in his own coat pocket.
Oh God.
For a half an hour. And every time he does it, he gets this conspiratorial look at me like, yeah, I'm putting him in Fred's pocket. And I'm like, yeah, dude, you do that.
Knucklehead.
Totally ruined his own jacket.
That's awesome. I saw
a Stevie Ray Vaughan band cover band there that night. That was just blew our doors off.
I've seen some great bands there too. I once saw an Elvis impersonator there.
No way.
And I love Elvis, so we went there to check it out. But I had gone to Graceland, and I had these Elvis glasses with the chops on them. So halfway through the set, I just reached in my pocket and put them on. And so people were watching the show and everything like that, and then they would kind of go and do a double take at me. I'm like, hey, what's up?
What is with that?
I was like the mayor of the Bayou.
The mayor of the Bayou. So yeah, I I think we both encourage people of any age, just watch this.
Listen, Halloween, this is a perfect movie to watch in October. Or not movie, special. Halloween specials are those magical things, and there's all shapes and sizes of them. This is one of like the legendary ones, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so
watch it now, because you're going to be inundated with stupid Christmas specials from probably October 10th until December 31st.
And you do have a fast forward button, so if you need to get through the Florence Henderson song,
don't.
Well, with the dress you want to keep it on, but maybe the
Keep
trucker
the dress
song.
on. The trucker song, the disco baby song. Like, there's a lot of things you can fast forward.
Yeah, you can skip this. Basically, after King of the Nighttime World, you could watch them say goodnight and fast forward to Paul Lynde kissing the Wicked Witch. I'm surprised that didn't melt her.
I melted.
What a world! What a world!
Oh God, I'm glad I watched it, because I might have seen it when I was a kid, but I don't remember. So I'm glad I actually watched it again.
Oh, I was so happy when I saw this was available. I called my buddy, my oldest friend. I was like, "Dude, Paul Lynde Halloween Special on Amazon Prime."
And we may get 10 people listening to this episode or watching it, but we don't care. You know why? Because we don't get paid. So we're going to do what we want.
If you have a special memory about this, or you watch it because we said it, any feedback for us, you can either put comments in our YouTube page, or you could go to our, our Twitter or our Facebook page. Facebook's probably a fun place to do this, where when we post the YouTube, give us some feedback on Paul Lynde. And if you're a Kiss fan like me and you saw it, was that a big night for you? I know our buddy Anthony Venturola probably.
Probably. He was waiting for yes.
The other thing I'd like to say is, don't forget, if you're watching this on YouTube, we're now on as an audio podcast. So we're on like a lot of the major podcasts. We're on Spotify and Apple and Google and Pocket Cast and Anchor.
And part of Project Entertainment Network.
Yes.
Woohoo!
We both were guests on the Paleo Cheese podcast. Yours is posted. Mine might be posted by the time this goes up, but probably not.
I smell cheese. And by the way, so please remember, if you buy any of our Monster Men swag, take a selfie with it. You're going to win stuff like this.
Yeah, you can mention us. Yeah, just mention us. We don't need a hashtag.
I have, this whole attic is full of shit that I can give away. And it's not shit. It's actually good stuff. But, do it. We'll give you things. You can maybe a slightly used Monster Carnival, because COVID-free, slightly used book. I got to read the H.P. Lovecraft. I'm going to read some of these, but this might be fun. Yeah. All right. So stay tuned, because our next episode, we are going to have the world's preeminent ufologist, Ryan Sprague, on. This is like, we've been doing this for 10 years. I don't think I've been more excited for an episode than this one, because UFOs make my sack tingle. So I can't wait for this. So that'll be the one after this. And then the one after that is Roz Kelly. Roz Kelly, Pinky Tuscadero. Actually, we're talking to Adam Caesar, author of Clown in a Cornfield. We'll have him on too. And we're going to do our Halloween special. It's going to be a fun month. So yeah, and there may be a couple of bonus. Who knows? Bonus. All right, get your swag and let's see what you got. All right, welcome to Horrortober. We'll see you next time on Monster Men. Monster Men, Monster Men.